Hey guys, better late than never. Here is my recap video of what we just saw at CES 2020 from Arcade1UP. I'll cover all products and announcements made and provide my thoughts on what Arcade1UP has planned for us in 2020. Let's get into it. Firstly, apologise for the lack of updates of late. I had internet issues where I was forced to move from ADSL to NBM over the last week, which prevented me from uploading new content. But it did allow me to rebrand my channel to something more relevant, Toycade. I hope you like it. Firstly, shoutouts to Patrick from P-Dub's Arcade Loft and David from Scar Arm Productions for allowing me to use their footage in this video. Make sure you support them and subscribe to their channels. I will leave a link to their YouTube channel in the description below. Anyway, wow, CES has come and gone, and Arcade1UP really did put a message out there for everyone in the home arcade market that they mean business. I mean, even I was blown away by the number of products and announcements they had at CES. If I was to count correctly, they had about 14 to 15 product announcements all up. That is ridiculous. This is a company in its second year in a niche they created themselves. So I was only expecting a couple of new products and maybe a few new titles to be announced, but they went above and beyond and created a huge buzz. Let's start with the two pinballs shown. We already knew about the Star Wars pinball when I first shared this out on my channel, but let's do a quick recap of what to expect. The pinball cabinet will feature a 24-inch widescreen LCD monitor, an additional small 7-inch LCD display on the back glass for things such as displaying high score, though John D from Arcade1UP did tweet that this possibly could be an 8-inch in the final product, but this is to be confirmed. The other major feature is the Wi-Fi connectivity. We don't know yet if the Wi-Fi connectivity is for things such as software updates or online high scores, or possibly we can purchase additional tables. This is not finalized yet, but the prototype box at CES does mention downloadable tables. It has additionally been confirmed that the pinball tables will have solenoid in them to simulate a real feel pinball machine, such as flippers and hitting the bumpers and kickers. This will also feature accelerometers for things like nudging and tilting the machine physically and having tables and physics react to those actions. One thing that it will not have is an actual plunger. Instead, it will be a button to launch the ball. Not a big deal. Price was originally reported by John D on one of the talk shows to being about $500, but it seems now they are now running with $450 to $650 now. In terms of release dates, nothing is finalized, but they're talking about sometime in the third or fourth quarter. So possibly around September, October. If not, they'll definitely be available before Christmas. The other pinball is Attack from Mars, and this is my favorite out of the two. Star Wars pinball in the pinball community is not as big as the Williams-Barley titles, though it's more of an iconic title which will appeal to the mass. But for the pinball purists like myself, Attack from Mars is the one. Seems like this was a deliberate move by Arcade1UP to have two different titles targeting two different audiences. Star Wars will definitely appeal to the existing Arcade1UP owners, while the Attack from Mars will draw more of the purist attention. This cab looks amazing. The main unit itself is definitely larger than the toy shocks and definitely looks more proportional to a full-size pinball and more true 3/4 like, while the toy shock does look a bit smaller. It has side rails unlike the toy shock, which has a huge bezel, and its genius design of a recessed screen allows the bezel to be hidden and angled so the players are more drawn to the screen. In addition, the recessed screen replicates a playfield in a real mechanical pinball machine because the playfield in a real mechanical pinball is lower than the glass. You can really see that Arcade1UP has really tried to replicate a real life pinball in all aspects, minus the mechanical nature. One complaint I do have is the null area above the lockdown bar location. There's enough space here to install joysticks and buttons for it if any models is really keen to do that. But to me, that's an ugly area, and I hope they improve that somehow, as it's all about the cost and keeping it to the target price range for the customers. Quite frankly, I'm not sure how they're going to do this for $500 with all the bells and whistles included. Overall, this was the biggest announcement by Arcade1UP at CES. They really responded to Toy Shock's digital pinball offering, and what they gave seems to be more superior from the videos. But my biggest concern with Arcade1UP pinball is the quality. I own a Toy Shock, and I can tell you the pinball is high quality, it's sturdy, and it's very stable. The MDF wood used is thick and solid. I can't find any areas where shortcut was made rather than the processor. But when you look at the Arcade1UP offering, the fact they associate their pinball range with the existing Arcade1UP branding instead of creating a separate pinball trademark means we'll expect the same quality. Because let's face it, so when people ask about Arcade1UP quality, what's the first thing that comes into your mind? Yes, that's it. That cheap kickboard and backboard. The flimsy material they continue to use today. And guess what, guys? Have a look at this picture. The same cheap thin kickboard material is also used on the pinball back end. If I show you the back end of Toy Shop, it's real thick wood here. Not sure if this was a deliberate move to associate their pinball with the existing brand range instead of branching out a different line. But pinball enthusiasts who collect pinball machines are a distinct species in comparison to arcade enthusiasts. So this is more clear move targeting the existing fan base who probably hasn't owned a mechanical pinball before than a true enthusiast. Do you have any concerns with Arcade1UP pinball in terms of quality and pricing? Let me know in the comments below. And here we have the NBA Jam. This was leaked early last year, and ever since there's always been a post on the fan page asking when is this coming out. Well, it's officially here. I'm a huge NBA fan. I actually sold my full-size NBA Jam cabinet last year in anticipation to buy this cabinet from Arcade1UP. And no regrets here because this baby just doesn't have NBA Jam. It has NBA Jam Tournament Edition and NBA Hang Time. It's Wi-Fi enabled and it has a live button. Yes, you can play online all over the world to challenge your friends. Well, not all over the world. They did claim for North America, but I'm assuming this feature will be available worldwide. They also said they'll be running tournaments hosted by Arcade1UP themselves. This is sick. I mean, this is better than sick. This is dope. They didn't just re-release an existing arcade game, but they actually enhanced it, and it was in-house developed. Wow. Arcade1UP is not just a toy company anymore. They are developing software, upgrading existing arcade ROMs into 21st century technology. That's just exciting stuff. Though they did say they have no other plans to have the live button enabled for other titles at the moment, but I'm sure this may change in the future, depending on how successful this release is. Arcade1UP has also confirmed that no subscription fee is required. This is all free. So I'm really interested to see how the in-house development manages disconnections, rage quits, and trollers on their live system. But this is one unexpected move from Arcade1UP. One thing I know I'll be doing when I get my hand on this is pulling the PCB board out and the Wi-Fi component and maybe putting it into a countercade so it becomes a portable system. I can play it online anywhere. Imagine that. I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking of this. One complaint here is why did they include NBA hang time and not maximum hang time? A true NBA Jam fan will tell you the best version is the maximum hang time. So let's hope Arcade1UP sees this and maybe add another version onto the cab in the final release. How about the roster? John D from Arcade1UP did tweet that the NBA Jam is about 90% confirmed with only 3 players pending permission. This tournament and hang time is about 80 to 85. But he confirmed that the Wi-Fi feature will allow them to provide updates when agreements have been confirmed and won't delay the release. In terms of price, this was not disclosed, but I would expect this to be around the same price as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for $3.99. But considering they have the live feature and the licensing costs with all the NBA players, I wouldn't be surprised if this price did get bumped up to $4.50. Release date has been stated to be around June, but Scott from CEO did mention on the CNET review they are trying for a limited run for Father's Day, but this is to be confirmed. Now this is a beauty, Golden Axe. Golden Axe was leaked as well early last year with NBA Jam, and this is the Arcade1UP first Sega release. So this cab will have 5 games: Golden Axe, The Revenge of the Death Adder, Altered Beast, Shinobi, and Wrestle War. This along with NBA Jam is a day one purchase for me. I'm a sucker for anything with 4 players. I love the artwork, but I wish they do put more Sega logos around the final release because I can't see one in any of the pictures and videos at CES. This does have a light up marquee, but it was turned off in the video. Price and availability was not disclosed, but I expect it to be around the $3.99 and also in the 3rd or 4th quarter of 2020. One thing I forgot to mention in the NBA Jam and this cab is that they have now the scan line feature also available. Yes, you can enable the scan line on their new cabs for those who prefer the nostalgic feel when playing with these machines. Another new title announced was the commuter cab. Yes, it's Frogger. And it has Time Pilot and Time Pilot 84. And none of those games really appeal to me, so it'll be a pass for me for sure, but I'm sure there's a lot of oldies out there who are quite excited for this title to be released. But there has been some complaint that the artwork is not the same as the original cab and the sound maybe is a bit off. But keep in mind this is all early prototypes, so it may change on the final release. Here we have another Pac-Man release from Arcade1UP. They seem to be milking Pac-Man really hard here. The cabinet appears to be a cabaret style with wood grain panels, so it's shaped closer to the original Pac-Man cabinet. Features Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Pac-and-Pow, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Land, Pac-Mania, and Galaga. That's an interesting addition. Truth be told, I'm not a huge Pac-Man fan. I do have a Costco bundle that I have in my collection, but I have yet to open the box. So it's very unlikely I'll be purchasing this. And here we have Burger Time. This was no surprise. This was a long due cabinet. After first being designed as a karate champ, but then redesigned after listening to the community. This was already spoiled at the Tokyo Game Show in 2019, so it was no surprise here. The cabinet also includes arcade classics such as Karate Champ, Bad Dudes, Caveman Ninja, and this unique cabinet features the Burger Time artwork and shape, as well as a light-up marquee, a special edition riser, and the Burger Time special edition cabinet can be pre-ordered now from the Arcade1UP website. It's $3.99 US with 45 shipping, where it will be promised to be shipped by March the 1st. And only 3,000 units will be released, and it will be a limited collector's edition. It comes numbered and a certificate will be included. So next we have the Arcade Deluxe. Yes, this is another re-release with two major upgrades. It comes with a light-up marquee and a new upgraded spinner. An interesting thing here is, last year when that game released their Legends Arcade Ultimate Cab, John D from Arcade1UP launched an attack at At Games on their fan page stating they copied the GRS spinner and did not give credit to Glenn. So now that Arcade1UP had re-released their cab with a seemingly similar GRS spinner, I wonder if credit will be given to Glenn. I guess we'll find out soon. Another re-release of a Wave 1 cab will be the Street Fighter 2. This cabinet will include LED buttons and bat tops. But it's quite disappointing that the Street Fighter 2 cab doesn't include the stereo speakers and the screen is not slanted. I mean, ever since getting the Wave 3 cabs, I really enjoy the slanted screen. And when I go back to my Wave 1 and Wave 2, it does feel different. Two items being released as part of the functional furniture range. One, the sit-down extension to the Star Wars cabinet. This is a bench that allows you to sit down and play on your Star Wars machine without the riser and simulate a sit-down cockpit style. The Star Wars sit-down accessory will be available around Father's Day. This does look pretty cool and I might be interested in getting one, but David from Arcade1UP did confirm that initially it will come as a package with the cabinet, and maybe later down the year it will be available separately. The second functional furniture item is a giant joystick. The joystick stands about 3 foot tall from the ground and will include 10 to 20 games. The giant joystick might be around $100 or less. The two titles is the Namco Pac-Man and the Atari games, which will have the iconic Pac-Man on top of the joystick and the iconic Atari joystick look. Personally, this is a gimmick product and definitely entertaining for parties, but I don't think this range will be around for long. Another revised product is the Countercades version 2. It will be a smaller bezel and a smaller screen and will be priced around $99. Another cool announcement is the Coleco mini players. These will have LCD screens and will include multiple games. Price is possibly around $50, I believe, but to be confirmed. There will be Mega Man, Froggers, and these really replicate the original Coleco handhelds that was released back in 1982. They're also coming out with a bunch of new miniature systems, which will include the game console and also the TV. So it's really cool what they've done here. And it's very gimmick. But I am interested in getting a few of these, especially the Commodore 64 one. So another interesting category they're entering is the plug and play consoles. They have DuckTales, Mega Man, Pac-Man, Mickey Mania. This is clearly taking a shot at At Games here. As we all know, the plug and play dongle is the bread and butter for At Games. And even I was surprised they're entering this area of the market because they don't need to. So this is an odd move, and it does clearly show that Arcade1UP doesn't really like At Games here. Another existing title that will be refreshed will be the Golden Tee. And it looks like they'll be getting Silver Strike Bowling. Though at CES the license was not finalized and Arcade1UP was still in talks with incredible technology, this is a perfect marriage because both games uses a trackball. But the key difference here is the technology required to run Silver Strike Bowling needs to be a lot more beefier. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out as well. Okay guys, there you have it. It was a huge showing from Arcade1UP and they are really making a statement to all the other companies looking to enter the home arcade market. Shots were fired to Toy Shop with their new pinball offering and at At Games with the invasion of the plug and play dongle. Here's my concern. Are they overstretching themselves? Are they doing too much? I'm only asking this because I'm the end consumer here, and it was only last year with Wave 2 and 3 we saw huge improvements from the Wave 1 cabs, which were plagued with quality issues. But now they have not just entered the digital pinball market, they are also entering the miniature handhelds, dongles, accessories, functional furniture, and now in-house development. It's pretty aggressive and it makes you wonder if something's gonna give. These guys are not Apple or Microsoft, so I'm not sure how big they are, but we already know their customer service has a bad reputation, where parts can take up to 2 to 3 months, but this is a problem for all companies, I guess. They are trying to be the leader in the 3/4 arcade market and also now the digital pinball market. Personally, they can do without the miniature and giant joystick and functional furniture range, and don't waste time with the dongles. I just want them to get the pinball and new arcade titles to the best standards. So this is a pretty interesting year for Arcade1UP. I really wonder how many of their new categories will exist in the next year or two. I'm just glad that we have Attack from Mars and NBA Jam Live coming. What products are you excited about? And do you agree with my opinions that Arcade1UP is doing too much? Let me know in the comments below. Okay guys, thanks for watching and please consider subscribing to support the channel. Catch you on the next one. See ya.